Welcome to the Cocktail Spirit from the Small Screen Network. I'm your host, Robert Hess. The Bloody Mary. Now, many people will tell me I really get kind of detailed on recipes and say there's only one way to make a particular cocktail. I don't think I'm that bad, am I? But the Bloody Mary is one of those cocktails that I actually think there's tons of room for creativity. I like to describe the Bloody Mary as the meatloaf of cocktails. Not only does everybody have their own way of making this drink, but everybody should have their own way of making this drink. If you're a bartender at a bar, I would say use a recipe for the Bloody Mary as the starting point, and then find ways you can take and twist it up a little bit, make some different changes. The Bloody Mary should be vodka base, tomato juice, and spices, usually on the hot side slightly, and usually Tabasco sauce brings the hotness to it, but there's other things you can use as well. You can use horseradish, you can use wasabi, you can use some of the other hot pepper sauces out there. You can use like, Dave's Insanity sauce if you really want to blow some guy's head off, which I don't recommend unless they knew that ahead of time. So what I'd like to do now is kind of quickly mix up a Bloody Mary for you. Now the origins of the Bloody Mary is slightly unknown. Harry's Bar in Paris has the big story as that they're the one that it came from. But there's still some uncertainty. There are some people are saying that it was originally made with gin and vodka didn't come in until the drink came over here to America. Other people are saying it was originally 50% vodka, 50% tomato juice, and that was it, no spices and stuff like that. And that is probably the way the drink started up at Harry's and eventually evolved in the drink we have now that is more the meatloaf quality. This drink is really good with gin instead of vodka, so I'd recommend maybe trying that, maybe trying some other spirits as well. But we're going to use vodka because that is the accustomed way of doing it. We're going to start with a 1.5 ounces of vodka. To that, we're going to add about 3 ounces of tomato juice. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to take and add a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. I'm using another antique juicer that I got off of eBay. And now kind of comes the fun part. This is where we can kind of spice things up a bit. Celery salt is one of the ingredients that I feel kind of adds a very comforting flavor to it. So this is not just ground celery, but celery salt. I add just kind of a little bit to taste. A lot of people don't use celery salt, but I think something's missing if you don't put the celery salt in. Worcestershire, however you pronounce that, sauce is another common thing to add in. Black pepper. And for the hot spice, I'm actually going to be using horseradish. Just a spoonful of horseradish. And then to add extra depth to it, I'm going to be using chili powder. It's not the chili powder that's been flavored with additional spices. This is basically just dried chilies that have been ground up. In this case, it's an ancho chili. So it doesn't add an awful lot of spice to it, but it does add depth. And so I actually like adding quite a bit to it. Now we add the ice. Shake it up. Take the glass of choice here. Fill that with ice. Now strain the drink in. And garnish it with a piece of celery. Again, the garnish is something where you can actually have some creativity. Asparagus, lime wedges, lemon wedges, olives. You can put a whole salad in there. I don't getting too crazy with it. I think the celery with a little bit of fluff on it looks good. But there we have a Bloody Mary.